It was a rainy night when Dr. Emily Carter began her shift at St. Mary's Hospital. Known for its eerie silence and outdated facilities, the hospital had a reputation among the staff for being haunted. Emily, however, was a skeptic and never believed in ghost stories. As she made her rounds, Emily noticed something strange. Room 217, which had been vacant for years due to its dilapidated condition, had its light on. Curiosity piqued, she decided to investigate. The hallway leading to room 217 was darker than usual, the flickering lights casting eerie shadows on the walls. As Emily approached, she could hear faint whispers, but she couldn't make out any words. Her heartbeat quickened, but she pushed the fear aside and opened the door. The room was empty. Dust covered the old bed, and cobwebs hung from the ceiling. Yet the whispers persisted, now louder and more distinct. Emily felt a chill run down her spine. She turned to leave, but the door slammed shut on its own. Panicking, she tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. The whispers grew louder, turning into anguished cries. Emily looked around frantically and noticed an old, dusty diary on the bedside table. Trembling, she picked it up and began to read. The diary belonged to a nurse named Margaret, who had worked at the hospital during the 1950s. Margaret wrote about a patient, Henry, who had been admitted with a mysterious illness. Despite all efforts, Henry's condition worsened, and he eventually passed away in room 217. Margaret detailed how Henry's spirit never left the room and how she could hear his cries every night. Emily's hands shook as she read the final entry. Margaret had written that Henry's spirit had become vengeful, trapping anyone who dared enter the room. The last sentence read, "If you're reading this, it's too late. Henry's coming for you." Suddenly, the temperature in the room dropped. Emily could see her breath as she backed away from the diary. The cries turned into a guttural growl, and a cold, invisible hand gripped her shoulder. She spun around, but there was no one there. Desperate, Emily pounded on the door, screaming for help. Her voice echoed through the empty hallways, but no one came. The growl grew louder, and she felt a cold breath on her neck. In a final, frantic attempt, she threw herself against the door, and it flew open. Emily stumbled into the hallway, gasping for breath. The whispers and cries had ceased, and the lights were no longer flickering. She looked back at room 217, the door now ajar. Summoning all her courage, she slammed it shut and locked it.